Radio Show.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in to the 25th Hour Radio Show here on Monster Radio AM 1150. I am your host, Rob Fairless, and on the phone with me today is actor, singer, producer, and the lead pastor of House of Grace in Ashland, Kentucky, Mr. Gerardo Mejia. Pastor Mejia, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day to join me on the show.
My pleasure, Rob. My pleasure. How are you?
I'm doing good, sir. I'm doing good. Now, Pastor Mejia, I mentioned in the intro there that you were a singer. Most people have heard your hit song, Rico Suave. They've probably watched the movie Colors that you starred in. They've probably heard a couple of other musicians you helped establish, and Enrique Iglesias and Bubba Sparks.
Yes.
But I want to take off from the point that Jesus Christ intervened in your life. What happened there? What was the starting point in your walk with Christ? I mean, the real starting point.
The real start. I started young. Actually, at 17 years old, God came in my life, and for a period of time, 2-3 years as a young man, I really, I was able to say that I was a youth that was enamored with the Lord, that I served the Lord, that I was, I was trying to make a change with my friends, but my motives and my outlook on trying to make a stamp in this world, it steered me away from God. And, I try to put these goals and all these things in my life that made God secondary in my life. And, for a long time, I left the Lord when I was Rico Suave, and I was doing all that as my career and all that. Of course, I had known, I knew God, and I knew that I was far from Him, and I knew that my spiritual relationship was struggling, but I didn't, I trusted. I kept on telling the Lord, in the downfall of my career, that one day I would come back to Him. Just give me a little time to let people know that I am, that I have self-worth, that I can. And it was all excuses for a long time. I have people in the business that are friends of mine, and their outlook on Christians is always like, "What happened? Did you hit rock bottom for you to become a Christian?" And it actually wasn't that. I hit rock bottom many times in my life, but I've had many wonderful experiences that God has blessed me, and I've had success in many areas. But that when I came back to the Lord in 2002, it was at a point in my life where I was actually doing pretty well. I had gone through a rough patch. I had been broke. I had lost everything, this and that. And it was a moment in my life when I had no excuses but not to serve God. So one day I just said, "No, that's it." And in the year 2002, I gave my, this time around, I gave my life to the Lord, and I guess I've lived it ever since. Since then, of course, it's been a ride. With God, it's like it's a starting point, but I'm just, I love God for giving me the opportunity over and over again. And the business that I'm in, you don't get too many opportunities. With the Lord is everlasting.
It's sad to say, but not everyone, and we both know this, not everyone accepts Jesus Christ. And you mentioned your friends there. What was the reaction from close friends and family when they started to notice the new creature that was in God rather than the old Gerardo?
Well, with my wife, it took time because that had been such a, I was my whole downfall was my adulterous life. So with my wife, it was a steady and uphill battle of winning her trust and winning her heart again, because I had been such a good liar for such a long time. But everybody else around me, the people that knew me, the people that had been around me when I was on top of the world, they couldn't believe it. I've used my past. Really, my past has been a blessing in my life. I had to be that guy in order for people to at least, out of curiosity, come and check out what I was going to talk about, or it's been like a lure for me. My past has been an awesome thing to I became a fisherman of man, and it's been my way of luring people in. They're curious about they they think it's going to be funny. They come to my church and they think, oh, let's see what this guy is all about. Let's go laugh a little bit, and then God gets a hold of them, and it's over.
Yeah.
So it's been a great thing. But as far as people around me, man, people that knew me back then, they can't believe it. And most of those guys, really, I've been able to, they've been able to grow with me. My circle was never that big, and my closest friends, they're mostly all Christians. My family is mostly all Christian. So it's been quite a ride, man.
So at what point did you realize that, your part in the body of Christ was to be a pastor? Did you take any seminary classes, or was your calling from God enough and he gave you all that you needed?
Well, it was, I recently, just a year and a half ago, I became a licensed pastor. This whole thing of being a pastor, I ran from. I didn't like the responsibility. I've always been that guy that didn't want responsibility in my life. I ran from, I was asked to start ministries back, 10, 12 years ago in Los Angeles. And I didn't want to, because I knew what that came with. And, I had experienced also churches, and I've seen the closer that I got in there, the tougher it was. And the more I saw people and the real people, and it can be, it was something that I didn't want to, I wanted to step away from. I was having Bible studies at my house in Los Angeles on Tuesday nights. I would host like 100 people at my house.
Oh yeah.
So I knew that, that was for like 6 years. And I knew that God had done something, but, I didn't know that it was going to end up being in Ashland, Kentucky. The reason why I came to Ashland, Kentucky it wasn't to start a church. I came here to save my marriage. My ministry had taken a hold of my life, and I almost lost my wife and my kids, and through it all came over here. And, I wanted to show my wife that, first and foremost, it was going to be about my family before it was about my ministry. And once that happened, House of Grace has just been a perk. It's just a showing from God to me that obedience to him is everything. And I did, man. I came over here out of obedience, and even though my heart wasn't right, I wanted to be that man in the family that he wanted me to be from the get-go. So now, being a pastor here at House of Grace I guess we're going to be on 2.5 years soon. That's been, it's been a blessing, and it's been, it's unexpected. It's like, that we're growing so fast, and we really are stretching ourselves to be a blessing for the community, this community that needs us so bad.
Now, did you plant House of Grace, or was it already established when you arrived?
No, we planted it. It was House of Grace came from a broken church. There were like 10 people that left this church, and some people have been hurt. And basically, what happened? We started a Bible study in my garage when we were living in Greenup, and we were started there, and it was like 10, 12 of us, and then it started growing. In a year, we couldn't fit in my house, so we started having Bible study in my wife's yoga studio. We went over there, and then it's got big. Then we went to a building across the street, which was the Putnam building, and we outgrew that, and God actually told us this, I have something beautiful for you. And we couldn't believe it. We had we didn't think we could get that place. None of us had the money or the credit. And he made a way, and that's where we're at right now. We have a beautiful spot that we started there with probably like 4, maybe 60 people. And we're like almost 300. In 2.5 years, man. God's been blessing that place.
Yeah, man, that's awesome, man. Praise God on that. Now, I've seen your praise band on some Facebook Live posts, and it's awesome. I'm a firm believer that music opens up the heart.
Yes.
And in the case of praising and worshiping God, man, it helps in lifting the spirit. If you had to describe House of Grace to someone who has never attended before, how would you describe it?
Well, it's just what the name says. I encourage people to especially that are in the ministry, that want to be servants, that this is the place where we take in maybe we take in the people that, other churches don't want at their church. I know I was that dude. I wasn't the pleasant guy. I wasn't this and that, and God had to get a hold of me for a long time. And we've opened our doors to anyone that needs the Lord. We're located in an area where, right nearby there are these motels that are full of drug addicted people, and we want to be that light on the hill where they can look over, and when their high is over and when they're feeling down, they can just walk over and come and receive what God has for them. We are a loving church. We don't judge you. We come in and we try to guide you. I'm not nobody that can save anybody. Nobody can. Only God can do that. But we're going to guide you, to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. We're going to guide you to be love, to be everything that Jesus was. And I'm sure that when you walk in through our church, brother, you're going to feel welcomed, and you're going to see that we mean business. Like, this is, I'm trying to make disciples out of people, knowing how, one time in my life I was just, not the guy that everybody wanted around. And knowing that, I want just, everybody that comes into that has some type of past, or that has, even if you're coming in drunk, we don't care. We're gonna let you in, and we'll see what God does, because no matter whether you think you're not feeling well or not, the word never returns void. If it goes into your ear, it's going to go through your heart, and one day it's going to blossom. That's it.
Yeah, man, I'm proud of you, brother. I'm proud of you. Now, do you have any current programs that involve the community, or any outreach programs for the youth of the area? Do you have?
Oh yeah, we have outreach every month. We go out and we find a spot in the tri-state where we settle in, and we. Right now it's cold, so we really can't do it. But in the summer, we would go and take our worship band and just plant ourselves in the middle of something. We get the permission from the city and plant ourselves down and feed people and love on people, and got to play some worship for them and told them, invited them down and loved on people and fed them. That's one of our most important ministries has been the outreach, evangelizing. That's where it started. So, we try to be there where it's mostly needed.
Now, do you still record? Do you put out your own worship music?
Well, I actually opened up a studio in Ashland. It's not like a studio, open studio. It's like since I travel so much, I've been wanting to. I'm hoping that artists will come this way, so I don't have to fly out so much, because I still work. So I travel to Los Angeles. I travel to Miami, New York often. But because of the church, I'm trying to be more available here. I want to be the pastor. I don't want to be like this. Like my wife says, you can't be this superstar pastor that just comes in and out. So I'm like, I got you. So, I if there's one, maybe I'll one weekend out of the month, I'll be out working. Because again, we've, just so you know that one thing that we're proud of is everything that comes into that place goes right out. Nobody gets paid in our ministry. No one. And it's been a blessing, man. We've been able to really, if you ask people in the community, we just fed right before Christmas, hundreds of people, and we were able to give out thousands of toys to kids that that were going to have a bad Christmas, and it overflowed us with joy, and we saw that.
Now, where can people go as far as House of Grace? Do you have a website?
Yes, you can check out on Facebook, House of Grace KY, and then you can check us out also. We have houseofgraceusa.com.
So before we close this out, do you have any final words for the listeners out there? Anything you would like to mention that maybe I didn't cover?
Well, as far as the ministry goes, man, if you get a chance to come and visit us, we're at 2413 Greenup Avenue. We just opened up a beautiful kids ministry. You got to come check it out. If you're going through some tough period in your life and you need a brother to lift you up, man, come visit us, man. We hopefully we can be used, and we can be that that person that can lead you to Christ and get you back on your way, man. That's it.
Well, Pastor Mejia, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today, sir. I just pray that God continues to bless you, your family, and your ministry, sir.
My brother, thank you so much for having me.